Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the Wharton MBA Class of 2024. A well-known proverb states, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Completing the rigorous executive MBA program at Wharton is a journey that all of us took together. Our 2-year voyage would not have been possible without the support and love from each and every one of you. So on behalf of our class, thank you. Now, please join me in welcoming our esteemed administration, faculty, and my fellow graduates of the 48th class of the Wharton Executive MBA program.
You may be seated. Good afternoon, graduates. It is so wonderful to be here today to celebrate the WIMBA class of 2024. If you're anything like my two kids, you've probably heard more often than you would like, not everything is about you. Well, today is about you. You know, if you applaud after every line, we're going to be here a long time. Today, we come together to celebrate your individual and collective successes and to mark the significant milestone in your educational and professional journeys. But before we do any of that, we must acknowledge that today would not be possible without the support of a multitude of people, many of whom are here with us to celebrate you. So without further ado, let me welcome our guests. Welcome to my Wharton faculty and staff colleagues whose unwavering dedication and guidance make our students' entire educational experience possible. Welcome also to the families, friends, and loved ones who are gathered here to honor these soon-to-be graduates. And lastly, a huge welcome to each of you, the Wharton Executive MBA class of 2024. Commencement is a time to reflect on and celebrate everything that you've accomplished during your time at Wharton and look ahead to all you are poised to achieve. You've spent the past 2 years deftly navigating disruption and volatility in ways that few other classes have had to do, and you've found ways to thrive amidst uncertainty and division. Indeed, your unconventional MBA experience has uniquely prepared you for what's certain to come in the next stages of your life, and that's more change. You will no doubt face obstacles you've never encountered before, reminding you that in some situations there is no playbook or precedent for how you should react or respond, but I can assure you that you have already formed the foundation necessary to navigate the unknown. You have attained the most robust and relevant business education available anywhere in the world. You learned how to think analytically, how to apply data-informed insights to problems, and how to incorporate the perspectives of classmates, professors, and friends into your thinking to represent a full and formidable future. And you did all of this while constantly adapting to the onslaught of unexpected changes happening in the world. Yes, your resiliency has prepared you to lead through the unfamiliar. This is something that is particularly resonant to me. You may or may not know that I arrived at Wharton in the summer of 2020 with pandemic restrictions in full effect, not knowing to what extent these restrictions would impact the upcoming school year. I spent my first months at Wharton in various stages of uncertainty, both learning about the school while leading it online from a small rented apartment in Center City. In the intervening 4 years, the combination of global instability and rapid change created a unique crucible for leadership that just so happened to align with the area of scholarly focus I studied throughout my academic career: leadership. In the management field, there's an age-old debate about leadership that is often framed as the question, are leaders born or made? Now, I know you all know the answer to this, so I'm going to ask your loved ones. With a show of hands, as one final test before they graduate, let me ask you, the audience, to raise your hand if you think leaders are born. Don't be shy if you have a conviction about your answer. Raise your hand if you think leaders are made. Well, as is so often the case, when it comes to people, the answer is not binary. One common narrative would lead us to believe that leaders are naturally bold, fearless, visionary clairvoyants with magical powers to see opportunities that others cannot. The reality is that this mythic leader is just that, a myth. However, the academic literature states that leadership qualities and practices can, in fact, be learned and developed. And yet I would argue that knowing leadership theory is not enough. The events, challenges, and opportunities of the last few years have led me to a new conclusion. Leadership is not a title, it's not a position, or even a set of attributes. Leadership is a choice. Every day, those of us who serve as leaders must choose to recommit to this work. And therefore, as you strike out on your next path and take on new opportunities, I challenge you to choose to lead, and to do so with intentionality. In viewing leadership as a conscious decision we must make on a daily basis, I'd like to offer you a few ways that you can choose to lead with purpose. First, I'd suggest that you choose your strengths. So let me explain what I mean by that. Too often, we focus our attention on the areas where we feel we need to improve, those developmental opportunities. But I believe that we reach our greatest potential when we choose to lead from our areas of strength. If you spend your time and energy focused on your weaknesses, you will only get to being average, and nobody wins by being average. But when you lean into your strengths, you can build them into your superpower while also putting your most authentic self on display. This isn't to say you should ignore your weak spots, but you can also choose to surround yourself with people whose skills complement your own and then empower them to shine in areas where you may fall short. Speaking of letting others shine, I'd advise you to also choose your team. There's a substantial evidence that suggests teams outperform individuals. Being an effective leader means knowing that the success of your group or organization doesn't just depend on you. It's about enhancing the people around you. As you choose to lead, it would be wise for you to create a space for other people to stand out and speak up. This might mean letting go of your ego and being humble enough to defer to the expertise of others in both personal and professional settings. But I can assure you that in doing this, you'll create an environment where people are empowered to do their best work. And finally, I encourage you to choose to listen. As a leader, you will make better decisions if you can solicit information, input, and expertise from trusted sources. Bringing diverse opinions and experiences to the table and integrating their perspectives into your decision-making can make you a more well-rounded leader and manager. That's because listening is a living example of understanding that no individual person has all the knowledge to solve every problem on their own. And I believe that listening is the ultimate sign of respect. I believe a remarkable leader exists in each and every one of you, and that your greatest achievements are yet to come. The choice is yours to attract the people and create the environment to make a positive mark on the world. So on behalf of the entire Wharton School, congratulations, graduates of 2024. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce your graduation day speaker, Mohamed El-Erian. Mohamed is president of Queen's College of the University of Cambridge, chief economic advisor at Allianz, and chair of Gramercy Funds. He is also a senior global fellow at the Lauder Institute of Management and International Studies and the Renee M. Kern Practice Professor at the Wharton School. Mohamed is an internationally renowned expert and a highly sought-after economic advisor. He serves on the boards of Barclays and Under Armour, as well as nonprofits such as the National Bureau of Economic Research. Mohamed writes regularly for the Financial Times and Bloomberg Opinion. He is the author of 2 New York Times best-selling books and was named 4 years in a row to the Foreign Policy list of top global thinkers. Please join me in welcoming your speaker, Mohamed El-Erian.
Thank you, Dean James. To my Wharton colleagues, to our distinguished guests, it is with great pleasure and profound honor that I stand in front of you to offer my heartfelt congratulations to the new Wharton School graduates. Graduates, we stand in awe of you. I stand in total awe of you. I don't have to tell you that this is a special place, not just because it's ranked the best business school in the world. Not just because it is the home to some of the best faculties and mentors one could ever hope for. It's also special because of you. You are Wharton's beating heart. You are Wharton's brain trust. And today, when you accept your degree, you don't become Wharton's past, but rather its future. When you accepted to come to Wharton, more than 50% of you already had a graduate diploma. You came with an average of 12 years of professional experience from very diverse backgrounds. Look, going back to school is tough, is really tough. But each one of you bucked the trend and invested in your future. You stepped away from a professional career to embark on many hours of research, study, innovation, and teamwork. You gave up many weekends. You gave up the summer. All this took humility, and most importantly, it took a ton of courage. I am really in awe of you. You know, many people pay lip service to the importance of lifelong learning. You didn't just talk about it. To quote Elle Woods from Legally Blonde, one of my daughters made me put this in there. She's sitting right there. One of my daughter's favorite movies, you did it. So real learning comes when you're outside your comfort zone. Think of basketball. If you're making every shot, you're good. But maybe you're too close to the hoop. None of you were close to the hoop. You bet on yourselves, you bet on Wharton, and you made that game-winning half-court shot. And we're here to celebrate your amazing achievements. Now, what you've done on the court is extraordinary, but we also need to acknowledge the folks off the court, in the stands, at home, cheering you on, pushing you forward, your friends, your classmates, your faculty, and most important of all, your family. As Dean James said, none of this would have been possible without their support. So let's express one more time our gratitude to them. Okay, so I'm told that an address like this is supposed to have one big idea. So let's talk for a moment about the world you're graduating into and how you can make it better. As I speak to you, our world is struggling with a climate emergency, the loss of many innocent lives, the destructions of livelihoods, a cost of living crisis, inequality, and so much more. It is a dangerous and uncertain world. And yet, it's a world that also promises opportunities. It will be a roaring 20s for some and the grapes of wrath for others. Now, historical data, and there's lots of this data, tells us that you're going to be okay. Indeed, you're going to be better than okay. You're going to be great. We're going to read about some of you in the Wall Street Journal and the Financial Times. We'll see you on 60 Minutes. We'll listen to you being interviewed by Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation. We'll watch you at the highest level of the Fortune 500 companies, startups, governments, nonprofits. That's what the data tells us. But that's not what my message to you is. That is not my big idea. Rather, I would like to tell you something that I recommend to the Federal Reserve. Don't be overly data dependent. At Wharton, you've been taught not only to focus on the quantitative, but also on the qualitative. You've been taught to open your minds, to consider what you can do, but also how you can do it. And this is a particularly important moment for the how. We are living in a world going through major transitions and dealing with major legacies of inequality, of violence, and social injustice. We see these wounds in our communities across the country and globally in conflicts. And all this is what, but also the how is changing. It's changing through generative artificial intelligence, through incredible innovations in life sciences, in sustainable energy, breakthroughs that have the potential, and I stress the potential, to enhance our lives and deliver greater inclusiveness, improve human well-being, and secure the health of our planet. We are just at the start of understanding what is possible. Think of an anglerfish. That's a fish that lives at the bottom of the ocean with a light prodding from its head. And think of that fish that swims up from these incredible depths and surfaces for the very first time. What does it see? It sees a world beyond the waves that is vast, that is incredible, and that is so unknown. It's a new world. And as Dean James reminded the faculty last month, this is not just a world about new skills. It's about exciting potential for creativity, collaboration, and community. In a world like this, excessive data dependency will not work. In fact, it's going to be dangerous because the past becomes a distorting and misleading mirror of the future. So you're going to have to figure some things out. Don't put blinders on. Don't narrowly seek to climb the corporate ladder. Be open to opportunities. And please remember that word that Dean James said, and we didn't coordinate our speeches, purpose. You have been enabled to do a lot of good. Of course, you should focus on the bottom line, but please, not just the bottom line. You have the opportunity to strengthen society, both from the bottom up and the top down. Give back, give forward, and empower others. Remember, here's another movie, Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. So as you figure it out, and you focus on the what and the how, also don't forget the where and the with whom. You are now part of the even bigger Wharton Executive MBA graduate community, 6,000 person strong alum group spanning this program's 49 years. And you're part of an even larger group of Wharton and Penn alumni. The big challenges and opportunities the world faces need to be met and mastered. And that requires the mix that you have: innovation, collaboration, and purpose. This is what you've been equipped with. This makes me actually more optimistic about our collective future. Warren Buffett, speaking at his annual meetings just a few days ago, reminded us the following: if you're lucky in life, make others in life lucky too. Be kind, and the world will be better off. Now, there's an old Peanuts cartoon. This would be in the old days when there were newspapers, and there was a cartoon page, which was a must-read, If you don't know what it is, if your parents in the audience will tell you about it. But in this particular cartoon, Charlie Brown and his friends Linus are together one night. It is the darkest of nights, completely moonless. Linus is holding something, and he approaches Charlie Brown, who asks him, "What is it?" "It's a candle," Linus said. "I have heard that it is better to light a single candle than to curse the darkness." Always want to have a reply, Charlie Brown says, "That's true, although there will be those who will disagree with you." And right on cue, we see an image of Linus's sister, Lucy, all alone in the dark shouting, "You stupid darkness." So what's the message here? In a world of darkness, be the candle. Don't accept the world as it is. Try to make it brighter and better. You'll see better, and you'll help others navigate through the darkness. This is what the degree you're getting today is all about. It can be a force of good for the world. Hold it up to your startup potential, and your investors will thank you. But also hold it up to inequity and work to deliver greater equity. Hold it up to injustice and work to build a more just and safer world. And hold it up to obstacles and build a pathway for opportunity for you and others. In sum, hold it up to everything and believe you can do anything. That is the power of a Wharton degree in your hands. We cannot wait to see what you will accomplish with this candle, class of 2024. Congratulations to you, to your families, to your friends, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your very special day.
Thank you, Mohammed, for those inspirational words. I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker, your classmate and class of 2024 graduate, Kim Montagnino. Kim is Senior Director of Communications at Johnson & Johnson, where she leads executive, financial, and M&A communications. During her 8 years at the firm, Kim has progressed through various corporate affairs and strategy roles within the consumer, medtech, and corporate divisions. Prior to Johnson & Johnson, Kim spent 7 years in communications consulting, developing corporate communication strategies and brand campaigns for global pharmaceutical and CPG clients. Kim currently serves on the Curriculum Review and Innovation Committee at the Wharton School. She earned her Bachelor of Arts in Communications from James Madison University and resides in Glen Ridge, New Jersey, with her husband and 3 children. Please join me now to welcome Kim Montagnino.
Thank you. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, administrators, family and friends, and my fellow graduates. Today marks a significant milestone in our lives, a day of reflection, celebration, and forward-looking aspirations. As we gather today, wearing our caps and gowns, we are not just celebrating an academic achievement, we are celebrating the culmination of countless hours of dedication and perseverance. First, on behalf of the class, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to the faculty and administrators of the Wharton School. Your wisdom, guidance, and unwavering support have been the bedrock of our experience. You did not just teach us, you inspired us, challenged us, and prepared us to navigate the complexities of business with integrity and foresight. We have been privileged to learn from professors who went above and beyond the scope of the syllabus to share encouragement, laughter, and counsel. So thank you for your invaluable contribution to our growth, both as professionals and as human beings. And a thank you to the exceptional people who make this program run: admissions, executive education staff, the McNulty leadership team, career services, IT, executive dining for feeding us, so many more who have supported us during the last 2 years. To our family and friends, your unwavering support and sacrifice has brought us to this moment. Every call to check in, every time you encouraged us, you gave us space and support to study, partners who pulled more than your weight at home so that we could achieve this goal. You have been our pillars of strength, our sources of motivation, and our reason to strive for excellence. And without you, none of this would be possible. And a special shout out to the Wemba kids, we hear you. I know there are many of you in the audience, including 3 of my own, and so many who were born during the program. We love you and thank you for being our reason. Now, to my classmates, we are forever bonded, confidants and lifelong friends. Together, we have navigated the challenges of balancing our professional careers, our personal lives, and a rigorous academic schedule. Through this, we've shared successes, failures, laughter, and tears, morning runs, study sessions, a lot of nights out, and too much Wawa. We've traveled the world together, we've celebrated marriages, promotions, and marathons. We've also mourned loss, cared for each other when we were sick, and rallied together in tough times. And it's these experiences that have bonded us in a way that transcends the confines of this program. The diversity of our backgrounds and perspectives has enriched our learning experience, teaching us the invaluable lesson of looking at problems through multiple lenses. I have learned so much from every one of you, and the bonds we've made will last a lifetime. And now, as we stand on the precipice of our future, we're reminded of the immense responsibility that comes with the knowledge and skills we have gained through this experience. The world today is fraught with challenges, yet within these challenges lie opportunities. Opportunities to lead with integrity, to innovate for impact, and to drive sustainable growth that benefits not just shareholders, but society at large. We're living in an era where the measure of success is not just the bottom line, but the positive impact we can make on the world. As Wharton graduates, we have been equipped with the tools to not just navigate this complex landscape, but to lead the way. So we leave here ready to leverage our knowledge, our networks, and our passion to create a more equitable, sustainable, and prosperous future for all. I could never begin to summarize the lessons learned in the classroom, from quant to strategy to management, and so much more that will apply to leadership positions today and for years to come. Instead, I'll share 3 simple lessons to serve as reminders in our future endeavors. Maybe just think of them as a few final notes to take with us as we go. First, what gets measured gets managed. In a world filled equally with dreams and distractions, remember, the bridge between aspiration and achievement is built with the bricks of measurement and management. So measure to know where you stand and manage to ensure you're not just standing there. Second, what got you here won't get you there. Imagine your journey to success as climbing a mountain. What we packed for the foothills, our skills, habits, and mindset, served us well in our recent trails. But as the air thins and the terrain changes, what got us here won't get us to the peak. As future leaders, we must always reassess our gear. Adaptability, continuous learning, and the courage to leave behind outdated tools is essential. And the higher we aim, the more our approach must evolve. And finally, taking a page from the book of Ginny Rometty, growth and comfort do not coexist. Embarking on a journey of growth is like choosing the path less traveled. Rarely comfortable, often unpredictable, but undeniably rewarding. So if you find yourself cozy and unchallenged, let it be a sign to shake things up. Embrace the discomfort, for it's where the strongest version of you is forged. So as we step into this next chapter of our lives as Wharton graduates, let us carry forth these lessons. Let us stay connected to Wharton and to each other. Let us be leaders who inspire, innovators who solve problems, and citizens who contribute positively to society. Let us go forth with courage, with purpose, and with the unwavering belief that we will turn our boldest dreams into reality. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kim. Mauro Guillen is Vice Dean, MBA for Executives at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania and the Worcester Professor of Multinational Management. He received a PhD in sociology from Yale University, and he's the former dean of Judge Business School at the University of Cambridge. Mauro has won the Aspen Institute's Faculty Pioneer Award. He is an elected fellow of the Sociological Research Association and of the Macro-Organizational Behavior Society, a former Guggenheim and Fulbright Fellow, and a member in the Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton. A best-selling author, Professor Guillen is also the author of The Perennials, The Megatrends Creating a Post-Generational Society, which was published in August of 2023. And here's a fun fact. He was also a member of the University of Oviedo team that won the Spain National Basketball University Championship in 1987. Please join me in welcoming Mauro Guillen.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Erica, for your support, your kind introduction, your support, and your leadership of the program and the school. And thank you, Mohammed, for your wonderful graduation speech. So nobody has referred to you yet as the Class 48. So I would like to actually ask everybody in the audience to give you a strong round of applause, Class 48 of the WEMBA program. So you've done it, but I would like to remind you about what the word commencement means, because it doesn't mean that this is the final station. This means it's a new beginning. And it's a new beginning in several respects. As Mohammed mentioned, it comes with some rights, but also with some responsibilities. So this time I'm not going to quote from the Spider-Man movie, but rather I'm going to tell you what some of those responsibilities include, because I'm very interested in your responsibilities. The first is, please refer future applicants to us. Second, please sing the praises of your Penn and Wharton education. Please behave ethically as managers. Please improve the state of the world. And please give back. Also, I would urge you to stop behaving like superhuman beings. So you can take it easy now. You don't have to do 3 or 4 things at the same time. You can spend the weekend with your family doing nothing. You can read a novel. Maybe you can waste some time here and there. That would be okay. So in other words, be human again. Congratulations once again. And I will be back here to read your names, so I'm going to study them now while other speakers take the stage. It is my big pleasure to introduce to all of you Diane Sharp, who is by far the best director that this program has ever had and was very much instrumental in launching our latest initiative, which was the Global Cohort, which will graduate for the first time in a couple of years. So Diane, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mauro, and good afternoon, Dean James, esteemed faculty, colleagues, graduates, and honored guests. It is a privilege for me to share this special day with all of you and to bestow the student awards. The MBA program for executives has a long-standing tradition to recognize the importance of the community and to honor the 3 students in each graduating class who have distinguished themselves through their exemplary contributions outside the classroom. These are students who are recognized by their classmates for the impact they had on the community through their qualities of leadership, engagement, and inclusivity. They created opportunities to build camaraderie and celebrate, to learn from each other and hear from other business leaders, and to make the most out of the wonderful and challenging 2-year journey that is WEMBA. We honor these students today, but the list of students receiving votes was extensive, and it's certain that each person in Class 48 had a unique impact on their community. First, we confer the Benjamin Franklin Award. This award is bestowed on the student who has exhibited a strong work ethic, demonstrated a practical application of ideas, fostered teamwork, and was quick to lend a helping hand in order to give back to the class. The winner of the Benjamin Franklin Award is James Garcia. James, would you please come down to accept your award? Great. Right here. James is the Deputy Vice President for State Advocacy with the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, commuting from DC during the program while raising twins. James served on the Student Leadership Committee as the academic representative. His classmates valued his steadfast commitment to supporting their academic experience and knew James would always find or make time to provide guidance and insights along the way. Please help me congratulate James for his hard work and generosity of spirit in supporting his classmates. There you go. Congratulations. All right. Next, we award the Dean Patrick Harker Leadership Award. Dean Patrick Harker left Wharton in 2007 to become the president of the University of Delaware, but left a lasting legacy. He provided the impetus for the establishment of Wharton San Francisco's campus in order to extend the school's global reach to new audiences and industries. This undertaking was a significant challenge requiring innovative thinking, perseverance, and leadership. The Dean Patrick Harker Leadership Award will be presented to the students who best exemplify this spirit. I mentioned that our tradition is to honor 3 students, but this year there was a tie in the voting for this award. So the honor will go to 4 students, and total honors go to 4 students. The first recipient of the Dean Patrick Harker Leadership Award is Judy Jansen. Judy, if you'll join me, please. All right. Great. Right here, please. Hi, Judy. Judy is a vice president with JP Morgan Asset Management. Through her role on the Student Leadership Committee, Judy flawlessly organized our executive speaker series, working with MBA Career Management to ensure diverse industry representation and keeping her classmates engaged and informed. Judy forged her own career path by raising her hand when opportunities arose that might not have seemed obvious, and encouraged others to do so and not feel limited. Let's thank Judy for the time, energy, networking, and organizational skills she shared to benefit her class. Thank you, Judy. All right. The second recipient of the Dean Patrick Harker Award is Naquan Ishman. Hey. Naquan, please come on down. Naquan is Principal Strategic Advisor with SAS in the critical area of data analytics of their Life Sciences Division. He was the driving force behind the organization of the first Juneteenth dinner celebrated at Wemba, during which he educated his classmates on the importance of this date in American history. Naquan is a strong example of vulnerable leadership. He held the highest of expectations of his peers, but not as high as he held of himself. With his positive energy, you will always receive the gift of truth from Naquan. Thank you for expanding your classmates' experiences, and congratulations. Finally, we bestow the Dean's Spirit Award, which honors the student who has been a catalyst in bringing students together and most contributed to the Wharton experience by generating enthusiasm among the class members to make the 2 years a remarkable experience. Class 48 has selected Mercedes Elias. Great. Mercedes is co-CEO and head of veteran engagement at AmeriVet Securities, a career she transitioned to after serving 10 years in the United States Marine Corps. She served on the Student Leadership Committee as the social chair, providing the glue that bonded this class together by planning numerous social events and outings and encouraging all classmates to create fun adventures and memories together. There has never been a more organized social chair, and she built the model that we hope will be used by all future Wemba classes. Thank you, Mercedes, for planning events and encouraging everyone in Class 48 to spend time together and foster the bonds that create lasting memories and lasting friendships. James, Judy, Naquan, and Mercedes, on behalf of your classmates, congratulations again, and thank you for the care and energy you put into supporting WEMBA Class 48. Now I am pleased to introduce the Deputy Vice Dean of the Wharton MBA Program for Executives, Professor Richard Waterman.
So good afternoon, everybody. I'm in the privileged position to honor both faculty and students. To start off with, as we go through this procedure, when I call your name, I would like you to stand up, acknowledge, and we will continue. All right, so we're going to start off with the faculty. Within the program for today, you can see a list of all the faculty that won Teaching Excellence Awards, and we are lucky enough to have two of them with us here today. So, Professor Peggy Bishop Lane. And Professor David Wessels. All right, now on to the students. So the first set of students that I am going to honor are those that achieved academic honors. So that's approximately the top 20% of the class. So, first of all, Courtney Anderson. Elizabeth Camuso. Rocco Cristino. Brittany Flaherty. Alex Gesquier. Jennifer Greenleaf. And Kush Judeju. Next, we have Judy Jansen. Nicholas Lucas. Varun Mishra. Fergal Mulvihill. Sruti Mayalavurupu. Keith Nicholson. Devon Phillip. Congratulations. William Pratt. Rebecca Shirley. Sean Underwood. And on the honors list, Jamie Wright. So those are our honors students. Now, in addition to honors, there's also a special acknowledgement, which is a Palmer Scholar. And the Palmer Scholars are approximately the top 5% of the entire class. So very, very accomplished individuals. So, first of all, we have Zach Carroll. Okay. James Garcia. Stephen Jackson. Tasuko Katada. Sandeep Krishnan. John Reevy Cantwell. And last but certainly not least, Shwetangi Shri. And with that said, I'm going to pass it back to Dean James and Mauro for the roll call and the presentation of degrees.
So before I start calling your names, I have 3 surprise announcements. So the first is that out of modesty, Professor Richard Waterman didn't mention that he also was one of the faculty members who received the teaching award. So please join me in giving him a... The second is that we've already honored Peggy Bishop Lane for her teaching excellence in the classroom, but I'd like to also give her a strong round of applause for her many years of service to the school and to the program as Vice Dean. And the third is that I received a phone call from President Joe Biden this morning with a special message to all of you and to your families. So he said that if I mispronounce any of your names, I have a blanket presidential pardon. So you cannot initiate any legal action against me. Okay? So let's begin. Kimberly Montagnino. Yeah, go back to the dean. Ashley Brooke Harrington. Thomas Andrew Rock. Kalpana Ramaya. Alan Van Saun. Shivi Alcantara Budman. Itzel Stephanie Alcantara Budman. Courtney Anderson. Orhan Anajiyev. Kartik Arutla. Vijay Balaki. Chase Bachelor Bauer. Edward Thomas Brady. Michael Britton. David Brown. Alexandra Bruce. Alexandra Devcic Camuso. Rory Campbell. Ronak Chavla. Shaf Chowdhury. Rocco Cristino. You got it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you got it.
Yeah. Ryan Connolly. You got it, right? Yeah. Ryle Cook. Ankol Daga. Victoria Davenport. Carlton William Davis. Gia Dohart. Orain Douglas. Glory Ojeye Chidoram. Isaac Idra. Mercedes Elias. Neil Ellsworth. Varsha Eiluri. Mauro Fabini. Brittany Flaherty. Anastasia Forte. Yamil Fraser. Elizabeth Cañón. Nikhil Raku Margugat. Sibing Gao. James Garcia. Alexander. Yeah. Alexander Gasquier. Iván Eduardo González Araque. Catherine Gowinlock. Jennifer Suzanne Greenleaf. Daniel Grosek. Oh, Paul Guglielmoni, this one here. Paul Guglielmoni. There was a problem here. Tumeka Hall. Gursher Singh Harika. Christopher Hayden. Derek Houts. Ding Yu Hu. Ibrahim Kodachev. Nakwan Eric Ishman. Kashmir Jadeja. Todd Jaffe. Judith Evelyn Jansen. Danielle Jensen. Chuen Yang. Kelly Jones. Mohammed Khan. May Angela King. Tasuko Kitada. Philip Kowalski. Sandeep Kumar Krishnan. Manwai Karis Lau. Eric Leung. Sitting Sating Liu. Nicholas Lucas. Andrew Lukic. Stephen Ma. David McBride. Daniel Madigan.
El mío está fácil. El mío está fácil.
Aldo Mastretta. Aniraj Mathur. Joseph Caleb McCall. Kyle Patrick McGrory. Bennett Lee Mears. Lydia Miller. Varun Mishra. Shilpi Mittal. Wei Mo. Samuel Moser. Fergal Mulvahil. Wow. Shruti Milavarapu. Keith Nicholson. Chimay Nadi. Uluwa Kayode. Rennie Paris. Matthew Parsons. Udidya Pati Mala. Andrew Seven Paulson. Nilutpal Pegu. Divan Philip. Casey Pledis. William Van Han Pratt. Harini Pundi. Avishek Raj. John Reevy Canwell. Singdida Joshi Reggae. Daniel Remisuski. Jan Patrick Ryan. Sachel Enriquez Ryan. Raj Sarkar. Itamar Sarusi. Rebecca Shirley. Thomas Schmidt. Alankar Sharma. Sutanji Sri. Diljit Singh. Robin Spector. David Stefanski. Jabaris Swain. Michael Beckman Thomas. Matthew Tretter. Nitin Tiyagi. Sean Underwood. Severine Armand Vieux. He's the harder one.
Nice to see you again.
Caroline Ward. Erika Weir. Gregory Wellman. Jamie Wright. Cheng Yang. Gerardo Ciampaglione. Tatiana Cevazzi. Kirill Babich. Siddharth Basu. Robert Brumbaugh. Justin Brunson. Dipthi Chinta. Divakar Chituri. Abudaya Chodisetti. Congratulations. Gazditink Kukiksevim. Bukosi Dube. Steffi Hamilton. Abhinav Katiyar. Chandan Kaur. Johan John Kim. Robert Kress. Clement Lee. Olga Liahovich. Ling Liang. Mehak Mahajan. Sebastián Medrano. Sharif Mohasi. Alexandra Koshabi Moore. Padma Priya Naji Naini. Musak Dik Nawaz. Omar Atuman, NDI. Cynthia Obiasor. Claudia Olsen. Archana Patel. William John Perk. Fahim Rahim. Ali Rashid. Neha Rustoji. Akash Rati. Julianne Robertson. Anand Salotkar. Radha Savage. Shijir Shen. Akansha Singh. Venkat Sivasubramanian. Alexander Sung. Ajay Sandeep Vemuru. Sinjan Wan. Shisilka Algariki. So please join me in offering a roaring round of applause to the class of 2024, Wemba 48.
Congratulations, graduates, Wemba class of 2024. I want to start by offering a brief introductory comment to everyone in the audience, particularly those of you who have been engaged in a 90-minute intense wrestling match with someone in your chairs. I promise you, we're almost there. We have important business to attend to, but we'll move it quickly. As Wharton's Chief Advancement Officer, I have the honor and pleasure of leading a team whose responsibility it is to help keep alumni close to one another and close to the school. It is our job to help nurture and grow an unparalleled network, one that I hope you know is ready to welcome you with open arms. The network will be there for you, but it will also ask that you do your part to contribute to it as well. Recently, a few students asked me how they, as soon-to-be alumni, can plug into the powerful global Wharton alumni network. One way I told them is surprisingly simple. Get yourself a hat, get yourself a t-shirt, anything with the Wharton School on it, and wear it. Wear it when you go for a hike, wear it when you fly and walking through the airport, wear it when you go to a conference. Alumni will find you. They will say hello, they will want to know your stories, and they will be happy to engage with you and support you in your journey. Each of you is now a member of this incredible community of 100,000 graduates living in more than 150 countries around the globe. To commemorate this transition, like so many have before you, please now move your tassel from the right side to the left side of your cap or cowboy hat. Echoing some of the comments that you've heard already, I want to remind you that as a graduate of the world's best business school, you will be expected to lead, to innovate, to solve problems, and to change the world. As you begin this journey, please know that you are not alone. The Wharton community will be here for you, and over time, your own successes will become an integral part of the school's incredible history and story. I can't wait to see the things you will do. Many of you have already begun nurturing your connection back to the school through your participation in this year's class gift. Thank you for helping Wharton build a bright future. A huge thank you to this year's Alumni Fellows, including co-chairs Tom Rock and Ashley Harrington, who worked tirelessly to ensure the success of the class gift campaign. Together, your class raised $116,918.34 for the Wharton School. What a fantastic outcome. Congratulations and thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Tom and Ashley to present the class gift to Dean James.
Dean James, it is with great pleasure and honor that we gather here today to celebrate a significant moment and recognize the contributions of this year's class. We are delighted to present to you this donation to the Wharton Fund on behalf of the 2024 WIMBA class. This donation is a testament to our collective commitment, and Tom and I can say that it was a commitment to get this, to advancing education, innovation, and excellence in business leadership at Wharton. Under your leadership, Wharton has continued to thrive as a global business education leader. The donation to the Wharton Fund will empower leadership to enhance program further, to support exceptional faculty, to enhance provide invaluable resources for students, including the global modular courses, Wharton Professor of Research, and WIMBA scholarships.
Okay. On behalf of the entire WIMBA community, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to all those who've contributed to this significant donation. Your generosity will have a lasting and meaningful impact on the Wharton School. So without further ado, it is my privilege to present this check to our esteemed Dean James in recognition of her outstanding leadership and in support of the Wharton School's mission to educate, inspire, and empower the next generation of global business leaders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom and Ashley. Last, I am delighted to share with you an important Wharton tradition. Each year, a leader within the Wharton alumni community serves as marshal and passes the alumni flag to a member of the graduating class. We are thrilled to have with us today this year's marshal, Dr. Stephen Samet, a 1984 Wharton MBA alumnus celebrating his 40th reunion. We are truly making a connection across generations. Today, we will connect 40 years of graduates by presenting the class flag from a member of the class of 1984 to the great class of 2024. Thank you. Stephen is the founder of more than 40 companies in the life sciences, including Pangea University for the Health Sciences in Bangalore and the International Institute for Biotechnology Entrepreneurship. Stephen has been a lecturer at Wharton for more than 3 decades. During this time at the school, he has created 8 courses, and so far, he has taught more than 14,000 Wharton students. As Stephen passes the alumni flag to your classmate, Alan Van Saun, please join me in thanking Stephen and celebrating the connection now made between your class and the Wharton alumni community.
Did that feel good? All right, thank you, Bill, Stephen, and Alan. And thank you to all of our 100,000 alumni around the globe who make Wharton's community the largest, most impactful, and most engaging alumni community in the world. As we close out today's ceremony, it remains my hope that each and every one of you graduates understands how much this community is proud of and excited for you. And so, one final congratulations to the class of 2024.